to MTA. We are the American Expeditionary Forces Headquarters Band. Yeah, it's a real long name. Thank you. For short, it's the AEF Band. This is a recreation of the band that was formed at General Pershing's headquarters in 1918 when he set his headquarters up in Chamonix, France. Pershing was a great lover of music, great supporter of military music, and he felt that he had to have a special band at his headquarters. So he reached out to all the infantry bands that were stationed in France at that time and said,
There's the riverfront. Are they gonna fire that?
That's a house. It's a cannon.
Happy to help.
Charge, peace! I am the charge! Hit and fire!
The fastest Williams probably the fastest people sliding across.
We're about to start our American artillery demonstration. We find the best way to let people know that we're about to shoot stuff is to loud shooting. So, artillery is loud. Everybody points up to your ears. We're going to fire off the battery and get started with that. Battery! And the battery! One round! Fire! Alright. So, to start things out, we are going to be starting with the oldest piece that we have on the field today, which is going to be our Falcon from Jamestown.
How's everybody doing today?
Outstanding!
Alright. And what we have here, as Derek mentioned, is a piece of artillery referred to as a Falcon, one of several sizes of gun brought to Jamestown in 1607, primarily with the intent of deterring a potential Spanish attack on the colony. That was the Jamestown garrison's primary concern, especially when it came to this kind of firepower. I have documentation for Sakers, which would fire about a 6-pound ball. They're not super standardized in this time period, so about a 6-pound ball. Demi-culverins, which would fire anywhere from a 9 to 12-pound ball. Culverins, which could fire up to an 18-pound ball. What we're looking at here is generally going to be referred to as round shot because, well, it's round. In the movies, what does the round shot do when it hits stuff? big fiery explosion, right? No fiery explosion. It's a solid hunk of iron. It's an airborne sledgehammer. It is there to break stuff. The primary concern in this instance being breaking an enemy's fortification and breaking ships. There are a variety of other ammunitions used in the time period. If you got Spanish ships coming upriver, a small gun like this might not damage the hull. And so what else could we shoot at if we're worried about stopping a ship?
The pilot.
Yeah, exactly. Shoot at all the stuff that makes it go, which in this time period, your masts, your rigging, your yards, that sort of thing. And so we have variations on a theme. Chain shot, bar shot, that sort of thing. 2 halves of a shot connected by a chain. 2 halves of a shot connected by a hinged bar. You would have all stuff that is intended to shred rigging. Again, pretty simple naming structure there, right? Shot with a chain. Case shot, yeah, there we go. I gave you that clue, right? Yeah, grape shot, canister shot, those are going to be the things that come later after this. But what we've got here is a wooden can full of musket bullets. And it turns it into a giant shotgun. It's very effective, but only at extremely close range. This gun has an effective range with that round shot of 3/4 of a mile. We can hit the ferry out in the middle of the river with it. With this, I'm going to need that adversary at musket range or closer, 100 yards or closer, to hit him effectively with that. Do you want your enemy that close? No. Ideally not. So no, we would rather not be in a situation where we got to use this. We have documentation that at least 18 pieces of artillery of varying sizes came to Jamestown with the first 105 colonists. It's barely enough people to operate all those guns, so they're running to avoid the extra step of having to measure out your gunpowder in combat. Speeds things up, makes things a little bit more precise. But you typically end up leaving burning garbage behind in the barrel afterwards. And if you shove another bag of gunpowder in on top of the burning remnants from the last shot, your day is going to go bad instead of your target's. So we got to clean it out first. So the searcher goes down the barrel to dig out any big stuff left over from the previous shot. Sponge, the piece! On the other side of the muzzle, we have a tool with a great big sheep's wool sponge on the end of it. It's been dunked in a bucket of water. That's now going down the barrel to swab out any smaller stuff that the searcher may have missed and extinguish any remaining sparks. Who heard the cork coming out of a bottle sound when that sponge came out? Yep. Yeah, that's the idea. We don't want that air getting back in behind the sponge. That's why he's tending the vent. From the inside of that barrel, we have now removed fuel and heat and oxygen. What are the 3 things that you absolutely have to have in order for fire to be present? Fuel and heat and oxygen. We've removed all 3. So is there any way that fire still exists inside of that barrel now? Is it now 100% safe to shove another bag of gunpowder down the barrel? Let's find out. Handle the charge! Advance the charge! Charge the piece! Ram the charge! So ammunition is going to be kept to the rear of the gun. You don't want to put a whole bunch of explosive stuff right up next to where you're causing a bunch of explosions. It's going to be carried up to the gun one shot at a time, placed into the barrel. The other end of the sponge has a wooden ram on it. And so that has been used to push that charge down the barrel and seat it against the breech of the gun. We would then normally put the shot in on top of it, whichever shot is deemed necessary for the target. We're going to skip the shot today. They don't actually like it when we shoot at the ferry, so just the gunpowder today. Next step, pick and prime. A brass pick is put down the vent hole at the back of the gun to break open that powder charge inside of the gun. Loose gunpowder is then going to be used to fill that vent hole to create a fuse, essentially, to connect the charge to the outside of the gun. Another step we are skipping here is you having to watch me do math for a couple of minutes to figure out what angle that barrel needs to be at to hit whatever we were trying to hit up to 3/4 of a mile away. I don't think you watching me struggle through trigonometry is all that exciting, so we're going to skip that part today. But at this point, the gun is ready to go. All we've got to do is ignite that gunpowder, and for that we have a tool called a lens stock. That's our final man off to the side there. That is carrying a length of burning cord called slow match. When the command is given, he is going to touch that burning cord to that gunpowder, and if all goes well, we should get a big boom. So again, if you don't care for loud noises, you may wish to cover your ears. Have a care! Cut fire! Secure the piece! Search, it's fun!
And that is our
Down 1,000 yards. Advanced around. Ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, now is the time to cover your ears.
White. Fire! So, mountain order. 100 yards up. 5 degrees right. One round, high explosive. Fire. Charge! Peace! Red, charge! Hit, fire!
Following this round, the control portion of this demonstration, but we've always found that it's easier to extend ammunition than to return it. So, any pieces that have additional rounds that they wish to fire are going to do so. Battery! As a battery! Fire!
Fire!
You're trying to get an empty case.
Got it?
Do you have any rounds without powder in them? No, give out just a seed.
We do have one of the ones back at our right over there. We'd be happy to show you once we get our stuff.
Okay, gotcha.
Fire a live round out of a mortar. There's actually a more noise than that. They sound, some of the bigger mortars sound the shell coming out. Also actually pull a torque out of the bottom. You have a similar radio telephone.
Yes, I am a plotter. Yes, I do a voice, but I'm trying to get a hold of my leader. My mom's wondering where the butter is.
No butter.
We'll circle back and